Namaskar, Abhishek, once again with the series Beauty and Bliss, a journey through Saundarya Lahari with Abhishek. In this episode, we are again holding the finger of Adi Shankar, the great Guru, Adi Guru, Shiva incarnate himself, Bhagavad Pad Adi Shankaracharya, and emerging in the verse 31 to 33 of Anand Lahari, where Adi Shankar is explaining beautifully, poetically, philosophically, devotionally about the nature of divine beauty. Wave of beauty is flowing. Let's come. Let's immerse in the verse 31 first. विशाला कल्याणी अस्फुट रुचिरायोध्या कुवलयैः कृपाधारा धारा किमपि मधुरा भोगवतिका अवंती दृष्टिस्ते बहुनगर विशाल विजया ध्रुवं तत्तन आमान व्यवहारान योग्या विजयते. He's saying in this verse, O goddess, O mother, your expansive and auspicious gaze, your drishti, expansive, vishal, and auspicious Kalyanamai. O mother, O goddess, your expansive and auspicious gaze, shining brightly like blue lotus, is filled with compassion. This gaze, which is incredibly sweet and delightful, is like a conqueror that triumphs over many cities. Indeed, this victorious gaze is worthy of being named after all kind of victories. हे देवी, तुम्हारी विशाल कल्याणकारी और चमकती हुई दृष्टि नीले कमल के समान सुंदर और कृपा से परिपूर्ण है. यह दृष्टि जो अत्यंत मधुर और सुखद है, कई नगरों को जीतने वाली विजयी दृष्टि के समान है. निश्चित रूप से यह दृष्टि विभिन्न प्रकार के विजय के नामों के योग्य है. So, through this great verse, Adi Shankar is poetically celebrating the goddesses, divine mothers, gaze, her drishti, which he is comparing with the blue lotus and its beauty and the vastness is like a blue lotus, Neel Kamal, and he is describing it as compassionate and sweet also, capable of conquering hearts and minds, just like a victorious ruler, the king, the Raja, who wins over cities. So, this divine gaze is seen as all encompassing and full of grace, bringing blessings to all who receive it. That is the revelation, that is the poetic expression by Adi Shankar about the gaze of the goddess through this verse. Let's come, let's come in verse 32. कवीनां संदर्भाय स्थिता मणिगणा आभाति कविता समेते संसारे कुतूहलिनी कोमला धिया तवैतस्या व्याख्या मधुकरा रुचिस्तत्र किमपि मनोज्ञा सम्पश्यत् कुसुमसर कोदंड कुतुकम्। आदिशंकर addressing mother, O goddess, just as jewels are carefully placed in the verses of the poets, how poets are using alankara. Your beauty is ever present in this world, similarly, captivating those of tender intellect. Your description is as sweet and delightful as the movements of the honeybees, even attracting the playful curiosity of Kamadev with his flowered धनुष bow. हे देवी, जैसे कवियों की रचनाओं में रत्नों की तरह शब्द का एक विशेष स्थान है, उसी प्रकार तुम्हारी सुंदरता भी इस संसार में विद्यमान रहती है। कोमल बुद्धि वाले व्यक्तियों के लिए आकर्षण का कारण बनती है। तुम्हारी व्याख्या तो मधुकर अर्थात हनीबीज की तरह मीठी और मनोहर है, जिसे देखकर कामदेव भी अपने पुष्प बाणों के साथ उत्सुक हो जाते हैं। That is the description. Through this verse 32, Adi Guru, Adi Shankar, highlighting the poetic elegance and the sweet charm of the goddess. Her beauty, he is comparing her beauty, carefully set jewel, and is constantly admired in the world, especially by those who have gentle and creative mind. The sweetness of her description is similar, is like or it's more than the honeybee's sweetness, that is symbolizing its alluring and attractive nature. Even enchanting Kamdev, the god of love, that is the poetic expression by Adi Shankar to describe the beauty of mother. Let's come next in verse 33. अस्मिता ज्योत्स्ना जालम तव वदन चंद्रस्य पीवता चकोरा नामासीदतीरसतया चंचूल जड़ीमा आतस्ते सीतां सोदार्दति ससीनः सोनमायो महाम अब्रोचडाच्छाद परिणत चांचूपटला. O goddess, those who drink the moonlight of your smile, very poetic expression, like the chakor bird, the chakor pakshi, like the chakor bird, lose the dryness of their beaks due to the nectar of that radiance. Thus, the cool light of the moon in the sky appears pale, as if losing its brilliance to the red glow of your radiance. हे देवी, जो लोग तुम्हारे चंद्रमा के समान मुख से प्रसारित मुस्कान की ज्योत्सना का पान करते हैं, वे चकोर पक्षी इस अद्भुत रस के कारण अपनी चोंच की निरस्ता को खो देते हैं। इसी कारण तुम्हारे मुख के चंद्रमा के सामने आकाश के चंद्रमा के तेज को नकारते हुए उसकी शीतलता लाल मणियों की तरह फीकी पड़ जाती है। उसकी शीतलता लाल मणियों की तरह फीकी पड़ जाती है। लाल मणियों, पटला या पिंक। So in this verse, Adi Shankar is poetically describing the divine smile, the divine smile, Muskan of the goddess, and and correlating that one with the soothing moonlight, the chakor bird, chakor pakchi, giving chample, believed to drink only moonbeams, and finds this celestial nectar in her smile so sweet that it forgets its thirst. The beauty of her smile is so profound that even the moon in the sky appears pale in comparison, unable to match the brilliance of her radiance. How poetic, how beautiful the description of mother's smile by Adi Shankar. The Anand Lahari is flowing through this verse 33. Let's come in the verse 34. Vipasyagayanti vividhama padanam pasupateha Toyarvadde vaktum chalit sirsa sadhu bachane Da tadiyair madhurair pala vitantri kalaravam nijam vinam vanim nichulayati cholena nibhritam. Now Adi Shankar is addressing again to Divine Mother. O Goddess, when you begin to sing the praises of Lord Shiva, accompanied by the sweet music of your veena, even Saraswati, the goddess of learning and music, quietly covers her veena as its sounds pales before the sweetness of your melody. हे देवी, हे त्रिपुर सुंदरी, तुम जब भगवान शिव के गुणों का वर्णन करते हुए अपनी वीणा के तारों से मधुर संगीत बजाती हो, तो देवी सरस्वती जो वीणा बजाने में निपुण है, अपनी वीणा को चुपचाप ढक देती है, छुपा देती है, क्योंकि तुम्हारी मधुरता से उनकी वीणा के स्वर फीके पड़ जाते हैं। वेरी पोएटिक एक्सप्रेशन थ्रू दिस वर्स. This was emphasizing the superior musical and poetic abilities of the goddess. So captivating. Even Saraswati, the goddess of the music and wisdom, is humbled, and Saraswati feels her music is overshadowed by the divine sweetness of the goddess melody when she sings the praises of none other than Lord Sri Mahakal, Shiva. So this is the verse giving Anand description of the goddess ability, poetic ability of the music. Let's immerse in the verse 30, 35. कराग्रेण संस्पृष्टं तु हि न गिरिणा वत्सलतया गिरिसेनोदारं बहुरधरपानाकुलतया करग्राहं संघोरमुख मुकुरवृतं गिरिसुते कथंकारं ब्रूमस्तव चुबुकमोपयायरहितम्. O daughter of the mountain, O daughter of the mountain, Giri Sute, your chin, Thodi, touched lovingly by the Lord of the snowing peaks mountain, and often sought after by Shiva's lip in his affection. How can we describe it? For it defies all comparison. There is no comparison at all. It's a above the comparison. हे पर्वतराज कुमारी, तुम्हारी थोड़ी छीन, जिसे स्वयं हिमालय ने वात्सल्य में छुआ, जिसे भगवान शंकर ने बार बार अपने ओठों से चूमने का प्रयास किया, किस उपमा से, किस उपमा से हम तुम्हारी उस थोड़ी की तुलना करें, क्योंकि वह किसी भी उपमा, किसी भी अलंकार से परे है, किसी भी अलंकार से परे. So this verse is highlighting the unique beauty of goddess Chin, which is described as beyond any comparison, any alankar by Adi Shankar. Even Himalaya, his father, out of affection, several times touched it when she was little. And the Shiva, her husband, in his divine love, continuously desired to kiss it. This verse is suggesting that it's describing that her beauty is so transcendent that it cannot be equated with anything in this world. It's a upama rahit, alankar rahit. How beautiful it is. That is the verse 35. Thank you very much. Jai Shankar, Jai Shankar, Jai Shankar. Har Har Mahadev, Har Har Mahadev, Har Har Mahadev.